So David,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
David Goodman,
Yes.
at the famous food bank here in Santa Rosa.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit, David, your background and how you got into feeding people?
I work with the Redwood Empire Food Bank here in Santa Rosa, California, and we actually serve Sonoma County, which is a prime wine growing region, but we also provide food to the other counties of Lake, Mendocino, Humboldt, and Del Norte. So our food actually travels 320 miles to the Oregon border.
And how many people does that mean?
Well, here in Sonoma County alone, we're reaching about 70,000 people every single month. So
In need of
yeah,
food.
yeah.
Out of how many, as far as the total?
450,000
It's
people.
a high percentage.
Yeah, no, it's the expression "hiding in plain sight" is pretty accurate. I mean, we don't have distended bellies. It's not famine. Instead, it's people making tough decisions. They're either skipping meals, or they either skip their meals, or they eat lesser quality food. I just recently I had a call from a woman who called our helpline, distraught, obviously, because she didn't have enough food to feed her family, and she said, last night the only thing I had to feed my daughter was marshmallows. So you wouldn't know if you were around somebody who only had marshmallows for dinner, but over time, the detriments of that take place.
And the impact it has on a child, as an example,
Absolutely.
intellectually,
Absolutely.
Physically as a development, and
Absolutely.
morally, and so forth,
Yeah.
is huge.
Well, we at the Redwood Empire Food Bank specifically have anti-anemia programs we call the Harvest Pantry, where children who are suffering from malnutrition, when they become anemic, the negative effects of that last a lifetime. You don't move through anemia and then carry on with your life. Rather, if you are delayed in your cognitive abilities forever, for the rest of your life, you'll have that problem.
Well, congratulations for doing that. Now, tell us a little bit about how you've really grown the local food bank here, and how, which was very impressive for me, is how diverse the food supply was this morning.
Right.
When we toured it, from fresh produce and so forth.
Right. Well, the food bank has grown tremendously over the years. I started here 10 years ago, and at the time we were doing 4 million pounds of food annually, and this year we'll top 12 million pounds of food.
Wow.
So the growth has been exponential. And the biggest area of growth, which we're very excited about, is healthy fresh produce. So now more than half of the food that we distribute is fresh produce, and this is not produce that didn't make it at the wholesale level that is then donated. Rather, we go to the growers and packers. We go to the packing houses, and we go to the fields where we get the product, and then it is donated. And we participate in a program called Farm to Family, which now collects about 80 million pounds of produce annually. And the Redwood Empire Food Bank is the 7th largest distributor in California.
Congratulations.
Of fresh produce.
And now, David, a personal question now.
Yes, sir.
How did you personally get involved in this? Because, and I'm asking the question, yeah, and you don't have to divulge a lot of personal issues,
Yes.
but I've been, since we've met a month ago, so impressed by your dedication, your sense of operation
Yes.
of that incredible food bank, and as well, your smile at all time and your vocation to do this. So how did it start?
Well, like many of us, we've all had many careers, and so I started in the film business, and I worked in the film business for 7 years, and then I worked for a specialty food purveyor, a very high-end ranch here in the Bay Area called Nyman Ranch, and then I left there and I went to the San Francisco Food Bank, and worked there for 7 years, and have now been here for 10. So
That's fantastic. And you're the
Sure,
managing director.
I didn't have any lines before I started this whole
The
deal.
healthy ones. Excellent. Well, David, thank you so much. Thank you
you.
so much for helping us as well to make it possible today. I mean, this is your truck, the Feed the Children truck. This is completely families have been fed. How many people did we have today, more or less?
There were 200 households today.
200 households.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And how many boxes did we pass?
600 boxes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So how many meals does that convert?
I think we're going to have about 25,000 meals, I think, are going out today. A little bit more than 25,000.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Well,
It's a big number. The Boisset family estates made a lot of people's lives a lot easier today. And on behalf of everyone, the Redwood Empire Food Bank, but most importantly the people we serve, thank you.